like the way he battled. He hit the big play to Terry, which is an unbelievable throw, great play by those two guys, and then we turn it over going in. But I just like the way he battled. He stayed with it, kept his poise, and made some really good decisions in the second half. His operation in the 2-minute has really been exceptional in those scenarios, so that's encouraging if we can keep building off that.
And not to discount any of the defenses that he's faced so far, but obviously the Ravens are historically, one of the better defenses in the league. Is this a game that really kind of, the measuring stick term has been used a lot this week, but is this a game that kind of give him another sense of where he's at?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it from day one, like every day is another chance for us to see where he's at. That's the approach we've taken, and that's the work he's putting in every day. He gets here at the same time and grinds at it every day, and we just talked about making those incremental improvements every day and building from that. So they have a great defense. It'll be an awesome atmosphere, and I know our guys are excited.
You mentioned reaching out to Todd Monken before you were going to come back into the NFL. Kind of, what did you take away from your conversation with him that really intrigued you about wanting to come here?
Yeah, I've known him a long time. He took over at Oklahoma State when Dana Holgorsen left there. So I've followed him, and just the way he's been able to adapt his personnel and maximize his personnel. He's been successful everywhere he's been, and I was just picking his brain. He's made that transition a couple times from college and back, and just this time around, they had such success last year, running that style with Lamar of offense, what he liked, what he didn't like, what he would have done differently, bringing it in. And so we just had a good conversation. I appreciate him and what he's done there and everywhere else, and just watching it this year with how he's brought Henry in and adapted to that and adjusted the scheme to really maximize who they are this year. It's incredible. I mean, he's one of the best offensive minds in football, and so it'll be a huge challenge for us.
Did that give you any sort of a different view on adapting to the personnel you have, or just kind of enhance what you are?
I think I was just trying to see if I did get back in. I was still at USC at this time, but if I did get back in, things that I would like to do or change, or things he thought that worked this time around when he did it. So it was just a good, candid conversation. A couple of guys that have kind of gone back and forth, and where we thought really the state of the game is and what you can kind of get away with and what you can't get away with.
If Jaden had to drop back more, maybe like 40-plus times, something like that, is that something you feel like as a coordinator you'd be comfortable with him doing?
Yeah, I mean, my background, so we can drop back as much as we want and have fun doing it. But that's not what's best for us right now and who we are. So, yeah, I mean, he did it in college. He was in a shootout every week last year. But we're trying to be efficient and maximize who we are, and the guys have done a good job executing plays. But if we had to do that, yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
Why is the left tackle rotation working?
Both are playing at a high level. I've been really impressed with both their attitudes and how they've handled that. It's not always easy rotating. You want to be out there and you want to get in your rhythm, but both guys have really embraced it and made each other better. And with Brandon missing some significant time in the preseason, I think it allowed him to grow, and will continue to allow him to grow. But I think more than anything, just both guys playing at a high level has allowed us to continue that.
What does McNichols bring to this offense?
He's a guy that I think all of us, we trust in any scenario. Any pass game, 3rd and long, blitz pickup, short yardage, goal line, he's going to find a way to get it done. He just does it right, and he does it right on special teams, and it's every day. It's how he approaches the game, and you can tell, when he scores and has big plays, how guys appreciate him and celebrate him, and that's a credit to his work ethic and mental toughness and just kind of how he approaches the game of football.
You got asked about the left tackle, but the O-line has really gelled. Was there a moment when you thought, hey, this group might really be something, where you thought you'd get these kind of results, especially in the run game?
Yeah, I think just like I said before, just the way they kind of can figure things out on the run together, the communication they have, and their ability to, even if we just walk something through and maybe don't get a live rep at it, they're able to go into the game, and if there's an adjustment to be made, they can make it in real time and hit it and nail it, and that's been really impressive. So I know it wasn't a really hyped group coming into the season, but the way they've just worked and continue to work and continue to kind of support each other has been really, really cool to see.
Good afternoon, Coach. You faced off against Dean Pease in 2022. He's obviously joined the Ravens staff. Is there anything that you kind of pull from that experience stylistically, and is it possible for you to truly kind of quantify what his impact will be this weekend?
I'm not sure. I know he's a great football coach. I knew him back in the Patriot days. A long time. He's been doing it a long time, and I have a great deal of respect for him. So anytime you get a guy like that to come help, it's definitely going to be a plus and an advantage for them.
And then obviously Tyler Biotish, his role is critical every week, right? But with the Baltimore Ravens and how they kind of like to line up down linemen, mix up where they bring the four-man pressure or the occasional blitz, how much is Tyler's role more important because of that variety that the Ravens bring? Yeah,
I think week in and week out you're going to have your challenges, but on the road, in that environment with the noise and with the tough scheme that they have, it's definitely be amplified with that. He and Jaden have really got a good relationship going and have built from week one, and I think that'll continue. But this is definitely a huge challenge with what they do schematically and then the noise factor.
Hi, Coach. The wide receiving group, to me, have really blossomed in the last probably couple of games, but two particular players that I want you to talk about is Luke McCaffrey and De'Ami Brown, and what you're seeing out of them these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they just keep getting better and better. I've been with Luke. He hasn't played wide receiver that long, so each day he works his tail off. We track him with GPS and their output and effort, and he's always like redlining, how much he's going at practice to the point you got to kind of slow him down. And then De'Ami's a guy coming in. I remember from North Carolina, really explosive player, and then hadn't done much, but just has been straight business since we got here and has worked and worked and worked. And even bringing Noah in, who took some reps, he didn't blink, continued to work, continued to get better. So to see him have those moments has been awesome. And we're going to need all of them. There are a bunch of guys who haven't had a lot of opportunities, some of these guys, and they're making the most of them. So that's been fun.
Coach, you guys have been really successful on fourth down this year. The one last week that stands out is 4th and 3 at the Cleveland 40. Can you kind of talk us through where the confidence is coming from on a spot like that on the field at that distance to go for it?
Yeah, was that in the fourth quarter? Was that one? Do you remember, or was that a different one? To Luke?
No, that was last with Cleveland, the one where you got around the
yeah. That's where the confidence lies, I think, that he can do that, I mean, we had a free rusher, a free runner, and he just makes a miss. He's a tremendous player, makes a miss, and goes for 40. And so you have a guy who can hurt you with your arm, with your legs, even if it's not the perfect call, the perfect look. I think we all have a lot of confidence in putting the ball in his hands, and we got some playmakers that can get open.
The Ravens played the Bengals last week. Bengals ran up a ton of yards. Were able to throw for 370 plus. How much can you take from kind of a common opponent like that when you guys both had a ton of success offensively against them?
Yeah, I don't, not a ton, I don't think. I think I watched Cincinnati's offense, and Burrow was awesome. He getting the ball out quick, on time, handled the pressures. They got two really good receivers, so we're different schematically than them, and so was definitely impressed by how they handled a lot of the stuff Baltimore did, but I don't think you can really compare those two scenarios that we have coming up.
Statistically this season, Ravens #1 rushing offense. You guys are right behind him, though. There's so much attention, obviously, on what Lamar can do with his feet, what Derek does. But do you think that maybe opposing defenses are starting to respect what you guys can do on the ground now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's never really been what we've been trying to be about. It's more just maximize that week what we can do offensively to score the most points. And so if we got to run it every play, we will. If we got to throw it, we'll throw it. But our guys have done a nice job. It helps when Jaden's adding, those type of yards of his own. But that Baltimore rushing attack is vaunted right now, when I watch their offense every week and what they're doing. So we'd have a long way to go to kind of reach that level. Yeah, definitely. He's going to be vital to us moving forward, and we want to be smart. If he's not feeling, 100%, or we think we can rest him in a way, then we're going to do that. And luckily, that game was in hand by early in the second half, and we were able to do that. But he's a guy who, another guy on those fourth downs, he's a guy you feel good about handing it to. He's going to find a way to get that tough yard, and we got to make sure we have him for the long haul. Thank y'all.